met somebody recently in town who said his mother had vowed to retire as soon as Segun becomes governor. Said because she believes that she will have said goodbye to this era of hardship, because she's aware that as soon as she retires, her entitlement will be paid within 3 months. For a society where there was this statement credited to a one-time governor that was the big deal in pension or gratuity, that if you are not alive to receive it, yeah, your children will receive it by the time you are dead, or if possible, your grandchildren. With such in the mind of the people, can we say this is why a lot of the aged, the pensioners, the retirees are reported to be rooting for engineer Segun's return?
Is it knowing who Segun is, to the extent to which I know him? One thing that I'm very, very sure of is that if he gets into office as governor, his passion for the civil servants will come up again. Because, look, the Ekiti is a civil service state. The only way government empowers and sustains the economy in the multiplier effect is when you pay the civil servants their due. When you pay retirees their due. Look, there is something about these pensioners we need to talk about. If you retire today, yes, they calculate your gratuity from employment to retirement, but your pension and benefits will start from today to the time you die. Question is, those who say their children will get it, their children will get it after it will stop on the day they die. Now, why not allow the person who did the work to enjoy his money, his wages? You know, these people have sent their children to school, they have educated their children already making their own money. It is criminal, in my view, to say that I will delay a pensioner's salary, pension, I will delay payment of gratuity because of for what reason? It is criminal. There was a contract that you signed when you employ the person. That contract must be honored. You cannot allow people to die on the pension line. It is criminal to allow people to die on the pension line while you are pursuing other esoteric values of life. Meanwhile, the economy is being stagnated. So that is why we have become totally reliant on pension allocation, which any state that will survive must also develop creative methods of generating IGR in a way that does not bring pressure, unbearable pressure on the people of the state. And there are creative ways of doing it. Improve the income of the people, improve the investment in your economy, improve commitment to agriculture, improve several other things, and your IGR will increase. But if you don't do all of that, you don't do any of this, you create great policies that are going to stymie all of these initiatives that will not increase in the IGR. That is the trick of governance.
Nígbà tí ọmọ mi fẹ́ rìtáyà, Ṣẹ́gun òní ló wà ńbẹ̀. Owó wọ́n san tó tẹlòmíì lẹ́ẹ̀ márùn-ún. Káàṣì ni nígbà tó ọmọ mi rìtáyà láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ kan nígbà tí Ṣẹ́gun òní wà ńbẹ̀. Òun ni mo ṣe ń bá wọn wá ṣàdúrà lágbèsí pé Ṣẹ́gun òní á ṣe rere lójú màá tún jẹ nínú rẹ̀. Ìkọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ jò ìkọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ja. Ọkọ ọmọdé rájẹ́ ni ẹ̀kọ́ Ṣẹ́gun òní.
Before Segun Oni, the understanding we all had was that even if there was money, it would take a long time for bureaucratic reasons for anyone to get his pension, his gratuity. So what was the magic wand that made it possible within 3 months?
In the first instance, you let the key drivers of the civil service know that you two are going to retire one day. So let us put this in place now, so that when you get to your turn, you benefit from it. So the enlightened self-interest of the civil servants help to eliminate the bureaucracy you are talking about. But there's also an aspect, another area in which bureaucracy was also challenged, and they delivered commendably for Segun. It was in the area of approval of CFO. Before you apply for CFO, some people will ask you for this here, for this there. It will take ages for CFO to come out. Segun said, okay, under my regime, we studied the business processes that govern the issuance of CFO. Segun cut the duration to 30 days because it affects investment. If you cannot get CFO land on which you are going to put any business, if you cannot get it within 1 year, you don't want to go to that state to do business. One of the barriers to investment is access to capital, and land is one of the major capitals that you need. It reduced the period of obtaining CFO and made it fixed 30 days, and it worked. The civil service cooperated and helped us to reduce the processes that were involved, shorten the cycle, and we realized that the same way it did for the paying of a pension. The bureaucracy was eliminated. In any case, like I said, it was in the enlightened self-interest of the civil servants who know that they are also going to retire to make it like that. And it worked very well.
The issue of loans for housing, loan for vehicles. The popular opinion in the society now is that both seem to be still to remain static where Segun, his administration left it. Are you aware of this? Why you?
I am aware. The situation is even worse than that. What is actually going is that promotions that were ostensibly given to people, even some as far back as 2012, they are not paying the money for the promotion. What the essence of say, I promote you to level 15, but I'm level 16, but I'm paying the salary of level 12. What kind of promotion is that? Are you celebrating? That is what is going on. Number two, look at the pension. There is something that Segun did when he was in office. And it was this. There was first in, first out, a FIFO attitude to payment of pension. If you get to the pension line first, you are going to get paid your money first. But what you have now is that, in fact, all those kind of things is gone. It is who you know when you get your pension. There are people, as we have investigated, who retire in 2015, 2017, who are being paid ahead of those who retired in 2012. This is not good. When you do that, you are destroying unity, you are destroying cool communal relationship, you are destroying the kind of camaraderie and enthusiasm that you build the people. When you begin to be discriminatory in that kind of approach, it is not good for a state. And people get frustrated. Even that kind of attitude in government is killing. That can make people to die. And that kind of attitude must never be allowed to become cultural to us. It must be killed and wiped out immediately. That is what we should be striving for. And that is what I know Segun will come and do again. You ask about the issue of a loan. Let me just give you some statistics. What happened for Segun between 2007 June and September 2009. Segun granted loan to civil service to the tune of 775.47 million naira. Number of beneficiaries was 3,638. In the same thing, he had it for civil service, he had it for teaching service. In the teaching service, he gave them a total of 511.47 million naira to a total beneficiary of 2,597 teachers. You know, and so on and so forth. That is the kind of thing that Segun needed. In the same way, for example, in the car loan, he granted money citizens of similar value. For example, housing, he gave up a total of 3.16 billion naira for loan, housing loan, for car loan, 1.18 billion naira, for a total number of beneficiaries of the people are keeping. So altogether I gave 4.3 billion. So you can see that he was making this money to work for the people of the state by giving the money directly to the people to use it for their own business. And things were going fine at that time. Things were going fine. In fact, the total number of beneficiaries of Segun's program is about 595,000 people out of the population of 2.5 million were direct beneficiaries of government activity. In normal statistics, when you have a direct beneficiary of governance, the multiplier effect is usually about 10. With the kind of economy or that developed economy that we are running in Nigeria. So you have 195,000 beneficiaries, direct beneficiaries. We are talking of a movement of over 5-point-something million people who are beneficiaries. Yet we are 2.5 million people in Ekiti state. So you can see that the multiplier effect went over and over again. And it could have been more if it has not been judicially terminated. It focused on the welfare of civil servants, he focused on the welfare of the people of the state, and he recognized that Ekiti state is a civil service state. And he was looking for every opportunity to bring in investment into Ekiti. Now, for example, the medical tourism that was being created was in the ophthalmological hospital. And at that time, that hospital was performing miracle. It was performing miracle. Or it was summarily cancelled by the succeeding FIMA administration.
Eléyìí tó ti ṣe kọjá ó sì wà ńlẹ̀ òun ni gbogbo àgbáyé tó fi fẹ́ràn ẹ̀ pé kó padà síbẹ̀.
Àsìkò tí ẹ̀ ó tu ọmọdé lára ó tu àgbà lára arúgbó jẹ gbádùn àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba gbogbo wọn kò sẹ́ni tó rí wí sí.
We can see from these statistics that you have the breakdown of gratuities paid. Would you want to maybe read this out?
I'll be glad to do so. You see, under Segun, for example, in 2007, he paid 1.047 billion as gratuity and pension of 1.4 billion in 2007 alone. In 2008, he paid a total of 2 billion as gratuity and 1.6 billion as a pension. In terms of number of beneficiaries, whereas the previous year before Segun got there, only 1,179 people were beneficiaries. When he got there, the number increased to 7,103. So in other words, there were more beneficiaries, there were more in terms of the amount, the volume of money that went out, because he cleared everything. He cleared it all. And you can see from the statistics, for example, that in other fellowship, the total he was paying for gratuity was about 750 million naira when he does it. But under Segun, 1.6 billion. That is the big difference. Commitment to the welfare of those who work for you. And in the civil service state as Ekiti is, payment of civil servants' salaries, wages, pension, gratuity is very key to successful governance. And that is what we believed in, and that is what he did.
When we consider this very rosy picture you have been painting, we can say that this happened during the boom era of the oil or proceeds from our oil, with declining revenue coming to the federation account. Do you think this magical feat, so to call it, can still be repeated if it comes back in these lean days of our economy?
I'd like to make a correction here. 2007 to 2010 were not boom years in the oil industry. I came from the oil world, so I know a lot about the oil statistics. in 2007. It was, in fact, right from that period, the global price of crude oil started declining. It is only in recent times when the Russia-Ukraine war started that you now started seeing it going back up again. It has come down from what it used to be, $130, $120 per barrel, down to about, there was a time it was going for $10 a barrel. You understand me? During Segun period, it was in the range of about $20 to $30 a barrel. That's what it was going for. So it wasn't as if they were getting very substantial allocation. But today, the crude oil has gone back to about 75, somewhere between 75 and $100 a barrel because of the Russian-Ukraine war. Okay, we don't pay for war, but at least Nigeria benefits from it by the increase in crude oil price. The question is, what are we doing with the increase? But as the Nigerian economy, we are talking of the state economy.
Yes.
What I'm trying to tell you is that when you look, we did something during the administration. Let me tell you about this. We now said that Ekiti State, we are 2.5 million people. So we now look at allocation coming. We did a budget that year. Our budget that year was about $65 billion to $75 billion. And naira, I don't know the exact figure now, but it was about that. So we just do this budget figure divided by 2.5 million. What is the entitlement of each resident in Ekiti? And we came up with a figure. So if you are a resident in Ekiti and you get less, you benefit less than that amount, then somebody is ripping you off somewhere. Somebody is ripping you off. So that became a universal yardstick. I must struggle for Ekiti people to at least be able to say, at least I get a minimum of this benefit from government. That's the only way you can feel that government is working for you. When you get zero, you can't be loyal to any government. That is the bottom line. You cannot be loyal. You see that the kind of unusual statistics with which unusual performance parameters we set for ourselves that drove the way we were doing business in Ekiti at that time.
So we just all pray that the Russia-Ukraine war will not last forever. Should we now agree that should Segun come back, that his administration will still be able to perform as much as he did then?
I can tell you, he will do it. There is still enough money coming to this state. If you remove from it the waste. Let me give you an example. I hope we all know that when Segun is traveling to Abuja as governor, he always go by road. He doesn't fly, he doesn't charter any aircraft. You want to charter an aircraft now to go from here to Abuja, to wait for you and bring you by, you spend about 250 million naira. That's a lot of money gone. He doesn't do that. He does not charter helicopter. Everything we do was by road. We are going to Abuja, we jump into the car, we go. And he doesn't carry baggage of people just to get a traveling allowance. No. It is fit for purpose. You have no specific value to offer and to contribute, you don't go. That is the way you operated. If you design a lean government, a fit for purpose government, I am telling you that you can still meet all of these welfare requirements for civil servants.
Well, like a quotation that became popular at a point in his regime, as people claim that Segun will always say there is enough money to meet the need of Ekiti State, but not enough to meet the greed. Is that what you are saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Let me give you another statistics again, and I'm sure you will like. Now, when Segun came into office, there were two higher institutions which Ekiti State government was responsible for. We had at that time University of Ekiti, now EXU. We now became EXU. Then we had the College of Education in Ikere. Segun Oni came and then established Tunedic, the University of Education. Well, I mean, he wanted to turn College of Education to Tunedic. Now, between October 1996 and May 2007, that is 128 months altogether. Okay? Segun Oni, I mean, the University of Ekiti had a total subvention from government of 3.8 billion naira, an average of 29.9 million naira per month in those 128 months. That is UNAD before Segun Oni came into office. Now, after Segun Oni came into office, between June 2007 and December 2009, that is 31 months. The previous one I said was 128 months. The total subvention that government gave to UNAD was 4.2 billion, 4.299 billion. Let's get that straight. The subvention for 128 months is still less than the subvention for 31 months under Segun Oni. Now, that represents an average monthly increase subvention to UNAD, now EXU, of 364%, because the subvention increased from 29.9 million naira per month to 138.7 million naira per month. Now, how would they not be able to pay their staff when the subvention went to that level? And he sustained it throughout his tenure. They say he didn't like College of Education. That's why I want to cancel it and put Tunedic. The subvention to, in those 128 months, to the College of Education was 3.2 billion naira together, which represents an average of 25.2 million naira per month. When Segun Oni came, the subvention to College of Education increase was 3.2 billion naira in those 31 months, which represents an average monthly increase of 310% under Segun Oni. So that is just to give you about his treatment of public institutions and public servants. That is why those places had good time under his regime. In spite of all the things that were said about him and College of Education, when in his pledge, all he wanted to do was to upgrade that College of Education to a university, because at that time it was no longer fashionable to have College of Education. And every College of Education is not a university. And that was the direction he was going. So if I show the direction, that is what he wanted to do. Well, it was misread. Even when he created Research Tunedic, you understand me? He immediately gave them their subvention, which was 8.3 billion. An average monthly subvention of 270 million to Tunedic. So when you look at cumulative expenditure on education and the subvention, in fact, you can see what it came to be for Segun. That those institutions did not suffer under him. Professor Dikokora is alive. He was the vice chancellor during these good years of UNAD. He will bear witness to all of this. He knows it. Professor Bandele is alive. He was also a vice chancellor. He can bear witness to this. He went to either UC or Tunedic, one of them. So when you look at all of these things, Segun Oni's commitment is at the level of passion.
Mommy bossy, Daddy Johnson, Mommy Arena, Daddy Tokwe, Atomo de Tagalagba, Daddy Arena, Family
G on the beat.
Segun Oni ni ṣe kó dúró. Àtọmọdé àtàgbà ta ló níbò. Ekiti kété nílé lóko. tẹ bá ti rí SDP ó ní kẹ́dìbò fún lẹ́kìtì. Kò lè sí calamity bí Ṣẹ́gun da gómìnà lẹ́kìtì. Ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ gbé lẹ́kìtì. Ṣẹ́gun Òní ló lè ṣe bẹ́bẹ́. SDP ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé lẹ́kìtì o. Abọ́lọ́wọ́ ibi fáínàlì o. Tẹ bá tẹ̀ sójú ọmọlúwa. Ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé SDP for you job opportunity o. Ekiti àtúrà fẹ́ everybody o. Tẹ bá tẹ̀ sójú ọmọlúwa. Ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé.
Thank G on the beat.
Ogún ọdún ajá irin fàájì ní fẹ́ ṣe. Èkìtì nílé lóko ẹ̀tẹ̀ka ìdìbò fẹ́ gbẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe. Ṣẹ́gun Òní ti dé àtúnṣe Èkìtì ló wọlé dé. Ọmọlúwàbí ọmọ tán sọ dé ló wọlé dé. Èkìtì nílé lóko ẹ má dá bára jà. Ìjọba tí kò bẹ́ wá o ẹ jẹ́ ká dára gbà o. Ṣẹ́gun Òní ti dé àtúnṣe Èkìtì ló wọlé dé. Iná máa wà omi máa dé ìtàlíṣ owó máa pé.
Kò lè sí calamity bí Ṣẹ́gun da gómìnà lẹ́kìtì. Ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ gbé lẹ́kìtì. Ṣẹ́gun Òní ló lè ṣe bẹ́bẹ́. SDP ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé lẹ́kìtì o. Abọ́lọ́wọ́ ibi fáínàlì o. Tẹ bá tẹ̀ sójú ọmọlúwa. Ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé SDP for you job opportunity o. Ekiti àtúrà fẹ́ everybody o. Tẹ bá tẹ̀ sójú ọmọlúwa. Ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé. Ẹni tó lè ṣe ẹ ló yẹ ká fún. Ẹni tó ẹ ló yẹ ká bọ̀lá fún. Lẹ́kìtì Ṣẹ́gun ni ẹ dìbò fún. Ganu Dauti Àníkẹ́ dìbò fún. Báńkì ẹ dìbò á ti wọlé o. Ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ Èkìtì àmàgbàdé o. Ṣẹ́gun Òní dé ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé o. Ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé. Kò lè sí calamity bí Ṣẹ́gun da gómìnà lẹ́kìtì. Ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ gbé lẹ́kìtì. Ṣẹ́gun Òní ló lè ṣe bẹ́bẹ́. SDP ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé lẹ́kìtì o. Abọ́lọ́wọ́ ibi fáínàlì o. Tẹ bá tẹ̀ sójú ọmọlúwa. Ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé SDP for you job opportunity o. Ekiti àtúrà fẹ́ everybody o. Tẹ bá tẹ̀ sójú ọmọlúwa. Ìrẹ́wọ̀lé dé.
People of the fountain,